there are two versions of you. One wakes up and immediately grabs his phone, scrolls, checks notifications, watches other people's lives, lies in bed for 20 minutes doing nothing, then rushes, coffee in one hand, stress in the other, into a day he never chose. The other version wakes up, and before the world has a chance to touch him, he has already decided who he is. Both versions start the same morning, but they are building completely different lives. The question is, which one are you? I want you to think about yesterday morning, not last week, not some morning you remember going well. Yesterday. What was the first thing you did when your alarm went off? Did you hit snooze? Once? Twice? Did you roll over and unlock your phone before you even sat up? Did you lie there, half awake, half asleep, just existing? Most people will say yes. And most people will also say they don't know why their life isn't going the way they want. These two things are not a coincidence. Because here's what nobody tells you when you're growing up: the way you start your day is the way you live your life. Not sometimes, not mostly, every single time. A man who wakes up with no direction will move through his day with no direction. A man who gives his first hour to distraction will spend the rest of the day distracted. A man who hits snooze is practicing the skill of quitting before he's even started. And I'm not saying this to judge you. I'm saying this because I was that man. For years, I thought my mornings didn't matter. I thought what counted was the big stuff, the goals, the hustle, the grind. But I was losing every single day at 6 a.m., and I didn't even know it. Let me tell you what's actually happening in your brain when you wake up. In the first 60 to 90 minutes after waking, your brain is in a state of heightened neuroplasticity. That means it is literally more open to change, more receptive to learning, more capable of forming new patterns than at almost any other point in your day. At the same time, your cortisol levels, your body's natural alertness and focus hormone, are at their peak. Your mind is sharp, primed, ready. Think of it like this: your brain in the morning is wet cement. Whatever you press into it during that first hour, that's what hardens into the shape of your day. If you press in anxiety, scrolling through problems, news, comparisons, your brain hardens around anxiety. If you press in clarity, movement, intention, focused thought, your brain hardens around strength. This is not metaphor. This is biology. And yet, we take the most neurologically powerful hour of our entire day and hand it to social media companies who have spent billions engineering their apps to hijack your attention. They know about that wet cement window. They are counting on you not knowing about it. Every morning you reach for your phone first. You are handing over your most valuable asset, your mind at its peak, to people who profit from your distraction. That needs to stop. Now let's talk about the excuses. Because I know they're there. I'm just not a morning person. I've heard this 1,000 times, and it is one of the most damaging stories a person can tell themselves. Because here's the truth: no one is born a morning person or a night person in the way we think. Your sleep schedule, your energy patterns, your ability to wake up with purpose, these are habits. They are things you trained yourself into, and that means you can train yourself out of them. The real question isn't whether you're a morning person. The real question is, what kind of person do you want to become? Because I promise you, the version of you that wakes up at 5 a.m. with intention feels different by noon than the version that woke up at 9 a.m. and reached for a screen. Not because 5 a.m. is magic, but because discipline in the morning creates momentum that carries you through everything else. Every time you do something hard first thing in the morning, get out of bed when you don't want to, exercise when your body says no, sit in silence when distraction is one tap away, you are sending a message to your own mind: I am in control. Not my feelings, not my phone, me. And that message echoes through every decision you make for the rest of the day. Here's the uncomfortable truth about comfort. Comfort in the morning is borrowed time. You borrow it from your future self. And your future self, the one who didn't build the business, didn't get healthy, didn't become who he wanted to be, pays it back with interest in the form of regret. So let's talk about what actually changes things. Not a perfect routine, not a 27-step morning protocol. 3 principles, deep and real. Principle 1, silence before stimulation. Before you consume anything, any information, any content, any other person's energy, give yourself 5 to 10 minutes of silence. This sounds simple. It is not easy. Sit up, put your feet on the floor, breathe slowly. Ask yourself one question: what do I want to accomplish today? And why does it matter? Not a to-do list, not a schedule. One thing, one reason. This practice does something most people underestimate. It puts you in the driver's seat before the world gets a chance to. When you start the day reactive, checking messages, absorbing news, you spend the rest of the day in response mode. You are playing on someone else's board, by someone else's rules. But when you start with silence and intention, you set the agenda. You walk into the day as the author of it, not a character being written by everyone else. Principle 2, physical movement is not optional. I don't care if it's a 10-minute walk or an hour in the gym. Move your body before your mind has time to make excuses. Here's why this matters more than people realize. When you exercise in the morning, you release dopamine, serotonin, and norepinephrine, the chemicals responsible for motivation, mood, and focus. You are literally giving yourself the neurochemical foundation for a better day. But beyond the science, there is something that happens in your character when you do something physically hard in the morning. You prove to yourself that you can push past resistance. And resistance is the enemy of every goal you've ever had. Every morning you work out when you didn't feel like it. You build the kind of inner strength that doesn't come from motivation. It comes from proof. Proof that you can do hard things. Proof that your feelings don't run your life. Motivation fades. Proof stays. Principle 3. Guard the gate. Your attention is the most valuable thing you own. More valuable than your time. More valuable than your money. Because your attention shapes your thoughts shape your actions, and your actions shape your life. For the first hour of your morning, nothing gets in unless you invited it. No social media, no news, no emails, no group chats. Instead, read something that sharpens you. Write in a journal, even 3 sentences. Listen to something that builds your mind, not just entertains it. What you feed your mind in the morning becomes the lens through which you see everything that day. Feed it fear and comparison, and you'll see the world through fear and comparison. Feed it growth and purpose, and suddenly possibilities you didn't notice before start showing up everywhere. This is not magic. It is simply the compounding effect of what you consume. Guard the gate. Every morning. Now I want to say something that goes deeper than routines. We talk about morning habits like they're productivity tools, but they're not. They are acts of self-respect. When you protect your morning, you are saying something to yourself and to the world. My mind matters. My time matters. My life matters enough to be lived with intention. Most people don't believe that about themselves. Not really, and you can see it in how they spend their mornings. Giving away their first hour. Letting algorithms decide what they think about. Drifting into the day like a leaf in the wind. There's nothing wrong with those people. But they are not living their lives. They are watching their lives happen to them. I want more for you than that, because here is the thing about mornings that nobody says. Every morning is a resurrection. Whatever happened yesterday, the failures, the embarrassments, the moments you wish you could take back, the morning wipes the slate. Not completely, not magically, but it gives you a door that is only open for a short window. And then the day takes over. The man who walks through that door with intention is not the same man who stumbles through it half asleep and distracted. He is building a different life, one morning at a time. 5 years from now, the compounded effect of every morning you showed up for yourself, even imperfectly, will be staggering. And the compounded effect of every morning you threw away will be staggering in a different direction. This is not about being perfect. It's about being present, being intentional, being the kind of man who decides every single morning that his life is worth showing up for. Let me leave you with this. Somewhere out there right now, there's a version of you, 5 years older, who built the body, who started the business, who became the man he always said he would become. He got there one morning at a time. And there's another version, 5 years older, still scrolling, still snoozing, still saying someday. He got there the same way, one morning at a time. The only difference between those two futures is what you do tomorrow morning. Not next month, not when things calm down. Tomorrow, when the alarm goes off, when the bed is warm and your phone is glowing. Who will you choose to be? That choice is yours. It has always been yours. Win the morning. Win the day. Win your life.